I'm gonna... Now I'm nervous. Damn it. Oh, damn it. Come on. This is me trying to lean over and hit stop on the camera. I'm gonna fix my eyes quick. This is supposed to be like easy compared to television, and sometimes it's not. I'm gonna fix this. I'm clipping it to my butt right now. Anyway, I'm E, and welcome to the channel for who hasn't seen already. You know, we had the first video go up of the channel launch, and I think it was really fun to do. This is going to be a lot more relaxed, not as crazy. It's actually one of my downsides to being behind the camera so much, is I'm not really used to being on camera. A couple weeks ago, when I announced that I was launching my own channel, I wanted to do a Q&A video. People ask me questions, like every Q&A video, and I answer them. I went to my Twitter and my Instagram, and I went and said for people to ask me questions because I want to answer certain things. I do a lot of things outside of just YouTube, and I think it'd be cool for people to get to know me a little better. First question, how big are your feet? Wait, okay, that was from Jordan Fringe. I don't know why he wants to know this. I'm a size 14 for what it's worth, but I also wear 15. Do I post feet pics now? Bob from Wolf Den, if you guys don't know, I'm his like fat doppelganger. He asks, if a teleporter perfectly deconstructs, then reconstructs things in a different location, how do you know that a person's consciousness has made it through? And then, would you go through it? I've actually had this conversation before. I think that, you know, teleportation isn't a thing yet. What if when you go through the teleporter, a super tiny fraction of you stays on the other side? I've always thought of that. Like, what if a little shave of you goes away with it? Would I go through it? Oh, totally. If I can go to LA instantly, I would 100% do that. If I can go to Japan instantly, I would definitely do that. If I can go to work instantly, probably not. Not gonna lie. Scootish also asks, why is it every time I'm in a video, the joke is, LOL, that guy sucks? First off, you don't suck unless you do and we don't know about it. Whoever doesn't know, Jackson or Scootish, who's been in a few of our videos before and who's going to be in a lot of videos coming soon, he is a hysterical person. He's just very there, if that makes sense. And I love him. And the fact that he can take those jokes is really nice, because someone like Brady, you notice that, yeah, he's a very funny person and very wired person, but he needs someone to work off of. And I think Jackson's one of those perfect people who can be worked off of, if that makes sense. I love working with him. And I love the fact that he's just so ready to do whatever. And if you give him an idea, he'll just go with it. It's really nice to have that in a team. So the fact that we could do that and work off each other is really good. But no, we don't hate you. We don't think you suck. You're the best, dude. You give me a lot to work from. And that's really good to have. And you're the shit. Don't let anybody tell you otherwise. Don't listen to Brady. Brady's just joking. He loves you. He just doesn't know how to show you. Kale asked, what 3 channels inspired you to get into YouTube and why? Oh my God, there's so many, dude. I don't even know how to answer that. I think the 3 channels that influenced me to do YouTube were Game Grumps, Rooster Teeth, and Node. It was that whole group mentality where it's like you have everyone doing something. There's actually 2 more channels that really inspired me to get into doing this type of stuff. Mega64 is one of them in terms of their skits and sketches, and then The Warp Zone, also really cool dudes. I've actually gotten to talk to the main 2 guys from then. They've dealt with a lot, and hearing their story and seeing where they've come is so cool. And I want like this channel to be like that, where it's a group having fun, laughing, and just enjoying themselves, making things. I think that's the best part about doing this, is that I could do this stuff by myself, but it really doesn't work by myself, especially with the stuff I'm really trying to do with this Guy with the Hair channel. As time goes on, there's gonna be a lot more videos and a lot more things that we're gonna try to experiment with. Those are 5 channels, by the way. Those 5 channels, I think, really set it for me on how I wanted to do YouTube, and the fact that I thought, hey, I could do this too. There's no reason why I can't. Rockin' Val asks, I think this is a great idea. My question is, what are some of your favorite video game franchises and why? I think it's pretty clear from the stuff that's all back there and like from right there. My favorite franchises are Nintendo. Specifically, my favorite IP in Nintendo is probably Zelda. The other major is right there. Guitar Hero is literally my life. That's one of the games that, actually, that's probably the game that changed me a lot in terms of playing video games. That is still the game that I can play as long as I can. As I've grown up, it's kind of been a little different. I've not played a lot of video games. Being a video game channel for 4 years kind of showed me how little I actually play them. If I'm at a convention, yeah, I'm going to play the game. But I'm not really playing them at home, and I get the games. I don't know if you see that. That's the BB from Death Stranding. I got the collector's edition. I have yet to play Death Stranding, and that's a game that everyone has told me to play, which doesn't usually happen. What inspired you to get into video production and content creation? Because if you don't know, I work in television and I work in movies. I fell into it. I really didn't plan on doing that. I saw that my school had a television department, so I joined that. I shot a full feature in 3 months of me holding a camera. I fell into doing more sound in movies, and that's really where I'm at now. I do sound for television and for film. Content creation, I said this before, I really wanted to make a YouTube channel. Graduating college, I was friends with Abe and we started Blockhead Gaming. I didn't know what I was doing. We have this studio and we have all this stuff and it's really cool, but I really didn't know what I was doing. Now, I know exactly what to do. And I still learn, and there's nothing wrong with that. You should be learning. What's your favorite film? That was by Rachel. Reign Over Me with Adam Sandler is one of my all-time favorite movies. It's so real. Being from New York, it also, doesn't help. That movie makes me cry every single time. It doesn't matter how old I get or when I'm gonna watch it, but the court scene in that movie is probably one of my most favorite scenes, and it just it's very real, and it comes from a true story. So there's a lot in that movie that really, really hits you hard. Really, really good, and it hits you right where it's supposed to. What game have you played the most? But I think the game I've played the most is probably Guitar Hero. I think I've played that game since I was 12. Guitar Hero is one of those games that you really don't know where it's gonna go, and I fell off of it for a little bit. And then when I realized they made Clone Hero, I wanted to play more Guitar Hero stuff, and I'm going to. Twitch is going to be a lot of that. It's going to be a lot of Guitar Hero stuff. There's no way I'll ever be able to do a level like Solus 4 or any of the Solus levels. I have no idea how they do the tapping, like the way they do it. And when I'm bored, if I have 10 minutes or I have to leave or do something, I'll just go and grab it and just play 2 songs or 3 songs or one long song. Just because, why not? And it gets me back into it. And yeah, carpal tunnel's a thing, and it hurts all here. Abe asks, is a hot dog a sandwich? This is a very common question on Reddit. I'm gonna say yes because it's in between 2 pieces of bread. Because you can have a hot dog and have, that's where you get weird. Because if you have a bun, that's 1 piece of bread sliced open, and you put a piece of meat in between it. So, is it a sandwich? Maybe. Depending on the situation. That's my default answer. Shell Shock asks, what's your best experience as a content creator? There are 2 things that I thought I would never be able to do that I've done. The first thing is all of the Nintendo stuff. I don't think I'd ever thought I would be able to cover these events with Nintendo and actually be able to be there while these things are launching. I didn't know that the Nintendo store had such a crazy big community of people waiting for these launches. You see C&D, he did a lot. He changed the community. I was introduced to that when we did the Nintendo Switch launch, which was the first launch. And we were only at 300 subscribers. You got to imagine, as a channel with less than 1,000 subs, covering such a major event, that does something. That's a whole experience on its own. Doing things like meeting Reggie, watching him get an award at the Game Awards and being there and seeing him and being in the same room as him, taking a photo with him at Mario Odyssey. I didn't think that was gonna happen. It blew my mind that I was able to do that. I think the other major thing was When I went to PAX West for the first time, I had just gotten out of a really long relationship and I was not doing okay. Going to PAX West 2 months later completely changed my outlook. I met people there that I'm very good friends with now, and it's been years. I think the biggest thing that happened there was being surprised by Justin Roiland in the hotel room while they were showing off Trover Saves the Universe and asking to do an interview with him. Because I didn't know that was going to happen. I didn't know he was there. I thought his team was just showing off the game. And when I put the VR headset on, they had me play the game. When I took it off, he was just standing there like, what'd you think of the game? And that's like one of your favorite shows ever. And you see the guy that created that standing in front of you. That's crazy. I didn't know what to do. And Derek, our camera guy, wasn't there. I called him and the service there was horrible. He finally got back to me. I was like, dude, you gotta come up. You gotta come to this room. He's here. We're doing an interview. And I got to sit with him for an hour, talk about video games and talk about Rick and Morty and learn from him. And I got to see him again at PAX East last year, and he recognized me. I don't think that will ever leave me as an experience. I want more of that. Because, yeah, I travel a lot, and I do these conventions, and I make videos on them, but I think the best part about being a content creator is just meeting these people and being friends with these people and creating those relationships that you don't normally create, because you see them on a computer screen and you think, oh man, it'd be so cool to meet them, but I know them. So that's probably the best part about being a content creator. I saved this question for last because this is probably the main question, and it, kind of revolves around this whole channel. But why did you pick Guy with the Hair as your name? I don't get it. Fair. You don't have to get it. Since I was 12, I grew my hair out. I'm 26 now. So for 14 years, minus maybe 2 months, I've had long hair. I had a friend in high school. His name was Darren. Super cool dude. I walked into the room one day and he just said, yo, it's the guy with the hair. What's up? And I was like, oh, I like that. And I told him, I was like, I think I'm going to keep that. Like, I'm going to make that my thing. Years later, I would see him after he came back from army stuff and whatever. And I told him, I was like, dude, I still get referred to as Guy with the Hair, right? And he was like, no, are you kidding? That was like some stupid high school thing. That's the origin of that name. And then, I can't shave my head now because this is like where it's at. I have a family history of people losing their hair. And that was one of the scariest things for me, was receding hairline and going bald. And yeah, I think that my hair does go back a little bit, but that happens with age, I guess. Moving away from that, starting this new channel wouldn't have made sense. So having this new channel called Guy with the Hair be the thing is cool. Guy with the Hair stuck with me for a while, and I think that's the best way to go. And I've asked for advice for making this new channel and how to go about it, and I think that's where people said, well, what do people know you for? I think aside from being at these conventions and shooting videos, it's the whole Guy with the Hair thing. Like, that's always been around. So that's what it's going to be. And that's what this channel is. I think that's it. I think that's all the questions. If you want to ask more questions, like, I'm down to answer them in the comments. Probably didn't get to everything, but why not? Ask away. I don't care. We're going to be at PAX East next week, and that's going to be really cool. I am super interested in seeing people. This Friday, our behind the scenes series is going to come out. And that's more seeing us every day versus something like this where it's very pretty and planned and executed a certain way. I think the main thing for this channel is you guys are going to get to see a different side of the things we do. And you're going to actually be able to see us do it live. Not live, but you're going to see the process. And I think that's something that people don't really do. You don't know, behind you, there's a lot of garbage. There's a lot of stuff. A lot of stuff that needs to be thrown out. There's a big change happening by the middle of this year, though. And I think that's going to be the coolest thing, and that's where we're going to take you with us. You're going to really see some cool stuff happening towards the middle of this year that I'm so excited and so scared to do, but it's so worth it. And that's like my whole thing. Like, you should be afraid of new things, but embrace it. Like, live for that. That's my favorite. I wouldn't be where I am today if I didn't take those risks. And other than that, this was fun. Let's do it again. All right, guys. I'll see you on the next video. Bye. All right, I think I'm done. High five.